And speaking of letting go, right? We understand like this distraction, right? Is like huge, right? And it's moving people in such a way that it's even challenging us. I even catch myself talking about the jabba dabba doo. I'm like, God about this shit. Okay, God damn. But you know, it's
Mm.
we're so empathic, right? We feel the death around us. We like, what in the world is wrong with these? You see what I'm saying? So
Mm.
we're drawn to helping others, and we're drawn to like when we see like crazy stuff, we be like, wow, I can't believe you're doing this, mama. Please. I want to see you live. You feel me? So what is it,
Yeah.
and how can we challenge that inside of us to just let it go?
Yeah, that's been a big challenge for me. Like, just like you said, being empathic, wanting to help people, especially like if that's our calling to be healers, to be teachers, to spread the information that we know. It, like, for instance, on my Instagram page, like there was a point in time where I was like every day just posting about the jab and posting about options like to protect yourself, and even posted like the exemption form for people, because everybody's in my DMs, everybody's in my inbox, like scared, saying, what am I going to do? It's like, I got to work, I got to feed my kids, but I don't want to do this. I feel like I'm being coerced. And so, Spirit actually sat me down. It was like, what are you doing? Like, this is not what we're supposed to be doing right now. You're being distracted by everything else that, let's say, the powers that be want everybody to be distracted with. If it's not the whole Black Lives Matter distractions, then it's the whole jab distractions, or it's something else, some type of celebrity drama distractions. And I've realized that it was all just the same thing, but just, I guess, targeting different people. This is really just another divide and conquer tactic. And so instead of focusing on the negative, I'm like, you know what? What is a solution? What can I possibly do? Because I can't control things outside of me. You feel me? And I'm like, all we can do as a collective spiritual family, or selective spiritual family, is focus on our own purpose and destiny, connect with spirit. Um, by you working on yourself during this time, healing your traumas, going deeper within self, and cultivating the skills and talents and gifts that spirit gave you in this journey, then naturally you will gravitate towards the people, and people will gravitate towards you that are aligned with your destiny and purpose. Like, that's why I posted that recently on my page. I was like, I do not chase, like I attract what is in alignment with my destiny.
Facts, facts, facts. No, that's good, CQ. And that's all the way lined up with this event coming up. Because oh boy, man, oh man, we if we didn't ever attract each other, say this thing is happening,
Mm-hmm.
November 26, it go down. Now, but no, I wanted to stick to a point that you was talking about, CQ, because it's fucked up out here. I'm talking about, and then, y'all being the goddesses, y'all see females taking this jab, and then allegedly they're experiencing, heavy bleeding and reproductive cycles going crazy, all this
Mm-hmm.
other crazy stuff that you're hearing, and you like, man, my sisters, come on, man, don't do yourself like that. Like, even
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I just seen an article where they said, hey, pregnant ladies need to take it as soon as possible. I'm like, oh
Mm.
wow, they really is cutthroat with this thing. It's
Yeah,
not
they
even
bugging.
funny now. They cutthroat. They coming for the jugular. So, when you see all of that, you kind of feel for the females and all of that, because you know, it's it's wiping out generations. But at the same time, when we start to understand it and start to ask ourselves, oh, okay, well, this was destined to be. This is what it was meant to be. So, if the world is gone in 3 years, hey, It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. Anybody want to speak on that?
Well, I think just with all these changes that are going on, like, well, first to piggyback off of what CQ said, it's like there's so many distractions, and because they've been so aggressive about the distractions, it's made it difficult to focus on that shadow work piece of it. But at the times like now where I'm feeling a bigger push to go internally, I know that whenever spirit is like calling us back, like how CQ said spirit called her back, like, what are you doing? You know, whatever. It's like when spirit is calling you back, you know that some shift, something more important is happening, right? And so I'm like, if we know and we can tell that something's happening, they also know that something is happening. So if we focus on what it is that they're trying to get us to create, then it by default we forfeit what it is that we're trying to create, right? Even if you're like, well, I'm not actively doing this or I'm not actively doing that, even if you're paying for it with your attention, that's time that you take away from being able to create what it is that you need to do in order to help us all, you know, ascend, right? And so my individual work and everybody else's individual work is a collective effort, right? That creates something else entirely. So if we can, even in our small numbers in comparison to how much people are on social media, whatever, that ends up having a ripple effect. So I feel like, you know, having these types of groups and being able to do things like the conference and being able to have all of us, you know, reach each other at different angles, I feel like that creates a much larger ripple effect, right? So it's like it takes one, you know, it takes one match to like all the others, you know, and I feel like that's what this conference and things like this does when we all gather, is it creates that that match. Like we're lighting all these other matches. So, you know, and fire moves quickly. So when spirit is involved, just understand that things are gonna move quickly, right? And so getting back to what we're supposed to do, I feel like it's now we're seeing this shift and all of us coming together at this particular time. And as much as we think that we're orchestrating it, we know that spirit has a lot, you know, a bird's eye view. And so it's all being put in place in the way that it's supposed to. And I feel like this time is going to reveal itself to be exactly what it is that we're supposed to be doing. And why, even if we don't know at this moment, it's going to be revealed, right? And so as we, you know, channel, as we do the conference and Dream and Brother Joseph and everybody has their own message, it's all gonna tie together and it's gonna I feel like put a lot of pieces together, you know, and it's like a calling out. It's like a bird call to the soul family, like, hey y'all, it's time to go underground. And you know what I'm saying, we got to go underground and figure this out. Like it's time, you know, you was waiting for the moment and here's your chance. Everybody's like, we should always, you know, I see that all the time, we should get together or somebody needs to put something together. Well, this is your opportunity to come and be a part of something and give, you know, constructive feedback, give ideas where we can all like grow, you know what I'm saying? Because as much as we're going to share, I look forward to growing from the things that you all will share, from the things that people may share with us while we're there. Like all of that is extremely exciting and it's going to create a shift because all of y'all are powerful, you know, and all of us in one space, they better be scared of us.
Bombs over Baghdad. Bombs over Baghdad. I think too, well, we see in all of this chaos, we have to remember the laws of the universe. We have to remember the laws of the universe. I think a lot of times we forget the laws of the universe and we don't apply that wisdom. Like we got to stop. It's not about knowledge, learning, whatever. It's about implementation of what you've already known, of what you've already heard. And if we're talking about focus and attention, we're talking about polarity, right? Because there's always two sides to one coin. And we got to ask ourselves, what side of the coin are we looking at? What side of the coin are we focusing on? Because whatever side we're focusing on, that's what we amplify, that's what we extend, that's what we create, like you just said, Mook. And so we have to really start implementing these things that our great teachers been teaching us for the longest. Like, this is not a time of surprise. Like, are any of us surprised at all the shit that's happening? We're
Nope.
not. We're not surprised, like, at all. So we have to remember to implement the wisdoms that have been downloaded into us, like applying these principles: mentalism, polarity, gender, vibration, correspondence, all of these things. Because when we apply that, our light, our energy, whatever, is going to be reflecting the people around us. I say again to my mother has grown tremendously over the last 2 years in this time. You know what I mean? And it's not by me forcing my will on her. It's by me living the life that I live, right? Especially when it comes down to like this COVID thing. We, in our household, we have a sore throat, we got a cough, we got a sneeze. We pull out the herbs, we pull out that stuff in a day. She like, how y'all doing? Oh, we great. We living our best life. We staying positive. We good over here. My life. So when you're asking, babe, about what about the people, you know, what about all of this that's going on? Our life and our light is the vessel for transformation.